Alex Pereira. This guy's cold as ice.
This guy might be the best big game hunter I've ever seen in UFC history.
This guy has this champion aura about him.
Pereira is one of the scariest humans I've ever seen in my life.
UFC 313, Alex Poatan Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Uma guerra de 5 rounds, valendo o cinturão dos meio-pesados, que acontecerá dia 8 de março na T-Mobile Arena em Las Vegas. Confiram que os lutadores do UFC estão prevendo para essa luta. Não se esqueçam de se inscreverem no canal e bora!
If there was to, it looks like they may make the fight with Pereira and Ankalaev. So who do you got in that fight?
If that fight does, if that is the fight that they're gonna do, it's an interesting one. It's a really big toss up. Pereira's always evolving. He's always in the gym, so he's gotten better in a short amount of time. Because I believe that can be attributed to the fact that he kind of came into this game a little late, so he's still a little wide-eyed and still a little, you know what I mean? Still got that new sense of things. All right, cool. Excitement for learning new things and adding new things. Well, what can I add to my game to be effective here, and kind of things like that, as opposed to somebody that's been around for quite a while and kind of figured into their game. But Ankalaev is game. I don't like the motherfucker. He's game. You know what I mean? He's got good striking. He's willing to mix in the wrestling and willing to put him in that whole little wheel of work, to where he's just kind of just work between the strikes and the up and the down and things like that. So I believe it's a really, really good matchup. I believe it's really a toss up. If I had to put my money, or if I was putting money out there, I'd probably keep it in my pocket, to be honest with you, because it's that much of a toss-up. But Ankalaev's got some good tools that I believe that he can catch people saying, oh, if he stands up with me, like, with the way that he strikes, you know, he don't really take a lot of chances, you know. So I believe there's a way that he can have success there. And then if Alex does try to press him, he can still wrestle him. So that's just kind of like the mix-up in there is going to be kind of like that versus how Alex is going to mix up his approach to striking and all those things with him.
Yeah, it looks like it might be Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev next. So who do you have in that fight? What's your prediction?
This is a question like Magomed, this guy from my country, and I support him, you know. And I think if look like on the only sport, I think Magomed win, because why? Because first he has a good wrestler first, and after he не уступает. Скажи, как по ударке тоже он не уступает вообще никак.
He's not any worse in striking than him than Pereira.
I think it is only my мое мнение.
My opinion only.
My opinion, yeah. Thank you.
Well, it's a tough one. I sort of stopped picking fights. I just like to enjoy them and watch and see what happens. Anything can happen on the day. I think Ankalaev is the biggest test for Alex at the moment in the division. We'll see what happens. I want to see if Ankalaev is actually going to use his wrestling, or is he just saying he's going to strike. But I can't pick a winner. I don't really like picking winners and losers in fights, to be honest.
And your prediction about Ankalaev and Pereira fight?
Poatan, Shama.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, who do you think is going to win out of Pereira and Ankalaev if the fight does go ahead?
Good question. Let the better win. Let the better win. But I wanna say that again. If Ankalaev will fight like he said, just in the stand-up, because he said that, and I'm taking the person like what you're saying and what you're doing. So, and he said like he will fight the Pereira in the stand-up. So if he will do that, I think I see the more chances on the Pereira side. But like I'm saying every time, let the better win. Yeah. I'm saying that all the time. If Ankalaev will keep his word, because I'm the man who's taking a word seriously if you say something. And he said he will fight with Alex just in stand-up. And if he will keep his word, I think Alex will win. And even if not, that will just show he is not the man of the word. So, and I see his most power, most biggest side on the ground.
I go with Alex winning that fight already because I don't think Ankalaev has to stand up. Now he does have the wrestling advantage, but it's going to be very hard for him. He has to go across the void to get to Alex, and when he goes across that void, he's going to have to deal with the calf kick, but he can also use that to take him down, and he's also going to have to deal with Alex's hands, left hook, and a jab and uppercut. So it's going to be a very, very tough fight.
With that being said, what does Ankalaev bring to the table that will be different outside of wrestling? Because on the feet, if Pereira is good enough to stop at least a couple of those takedowns and land some damage, it makes a fight that interesting. With that being said, can Ankalaev do something similar? Can he get the takedown? Could he keep him down? I'm pretty sure if he takes him down, there's going to be a good chance that he can keep a guy like Pereira down who's not as well versed on the ground. But I'm sure he will be doing a lot of homework, studying for those tests to make sure he can pass with flying colors. But the stand-up department, every single fight starts on the feet. I'm stating the obvious, but I think that's what makes this interesting. Can Pereira keep that distance, land those calf kicks? Ankalaev is well-rounded. I personally think he might be a better striker than he is an overall grappler. He's not like the Islam and the Khabib or Umar or Sharyukin. He's not as well-versed in all his grappling, at least from the fights I've seen.
I did say the same thing, and then I was doing a little bit of research and digging into this Rakic Ankalaev fight, and other than Blachowicz, there's not a shit ton of takedowns that Magomed Ankalaev actually shoots. He's ended up on top. He's ended up on top a couple times.
But when you're talking about the skill set of what he brings, what he's doing, what he's transitioning to, how he's holding them down, it doesn't seem as well versed as some of those other guys who are known for their grappling skills, if that makes sense. So I'm not knocking, I'm not saying he doesn't have grappling, but I just don't think it's as high level as guys like that in those weight classes.